Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. You see me going through the setup process so that I can live this shit on TikTok now. Okay, so we're about to set up because I'm making up and honoring my word. So it's probably not gonna be more than maybe a 10-minute video, if that. And now I push the live button, and here we go. Okay, there's numbers. I'm making sure this time that I'm doing it right. Alright. Power cable's in the way. Move that. Alright. So, here we go. We're going to honor my word and do some bound training. Notice I had to word that differently since I'm living on TikTok. So, first we're going to do do's and don'ts. First and foremost, the most important, this little disclaimer that if you are not a martial artist, it is probably not the best idea for you to see what you are going to see on screen. I am not going to do anything risky. I am not going to do butterfly kicks. Might slip in a tornado kick every now and again. I'm emptying my pockets just so to be on the safe side to not bring self-injurement. Alright, so I'm going to teach you balance training. Again, you're not a martial artist, I don't recommend you doing this. And anything that you miss here on TikTok, you will this time be able to find it on YouTube because it's recording this time. If you are from Instagram and you have made it to this YouTube video or you have made it to my TikTok, thank you for joining me. So it's very important that you pay attention to this part first. We are going to do the most difficult part first, which is your hands behind your back. Alright? When your hands are behind your back, you are the most vulnerable. So understand that you will be limited to all means of protection to a degree. Because in the front, you can block and you can protect yourself very well. With your hands behind your back, you are taking an incredible chance even attempting to fight. But if your life depends on it, you will be amazed at the things that you will actually be able to accomplish if you have the right training. If you don't have the right training, pray. So I'm going to put this binding on my left hand first, since it is my non-dominant hand. I don't have a non-dominant hand. And I'm going to show you, this is a block, this is a block, this is a block, this is a block. Your ability to utilize those blocks are going to be slim. Why do I say they're going to be slim? I want you to watch how my body works with my hands tied behind my back, and I want you to watch how my body works with my hands tied in front. This is more of a teachable moment than anything else because you're going to need to know how to escape. As I did in my original video that did not get recorded, your escape route is there. So if your opponent is coming at you, you do not kick him in the direction of your escape route. So if your escape route is there, you will not use the inside to outside crescent kick, which is this, because you will put him in the way of your escape route. So instead, what you do use is the outside to inside crescent kick, which is this. Then you turn your hips and you head in the direction of your escape route. Same thing on the other side. If your escape route is right there, you do not use the inside to outside crescent kick, which is that, because you're going to have to engage this fella. And if you don't hit him hard enough, he's going to hit you. Or if it's females, they're going to hit you. What you do damn, I said doo-doo. What you do is that you use the outside to inside crescent kick because your escape route's there, he's right here, and this is the kick. That puts him in this direction, you pop your hips in this direction, and you're out. And the best thing I can tell you on that is because you want to know what kick to use according to your escape route. If your escape route's there, you can use the inside to outside crescent kick with the leg furthest away from your escape route, which means your escape route's there, you're going to use your left leg, and you're going to kick him that way. Now that way, he's gone that way. He might not be completely down, but he's down enough that you, if you kicked him hard enough, can use your escape route. You don't have to work as hard, just gotta turn and go. If your escape route's over there, again, using the opposite leg to kick him into that direction so that you can go in that direction, Then you will use the inside to outside crescent kick again. So he's there. You want to go that way. The outside, inside is not the option. The inside, outside is the option because you want him that way. So you use the inside to outside, which is there, and that sends him this way, and you go this way. Now the reason for that is quite simple. Your hands are behind your back. Your balance is off. Your balance will continue to be off because, let's face it, your hands are behind your back, which just threw all of your weight towards the back. All right? When you see me do these kicks with my hands in the front, you will be able to see the difference of my equilibrium. You will be able to see that I have more options. If they're throwing a punch, you're going to have to duck, or you're going to have to sidestep. This is a duck. That is a sidestep. That's actually a lean, but this is a complete sidestep. This is another complete sidestep. This is a duck. This is a duck. But it's only so many ducks you can do. You know, it's only so many leans you can do before you're going to have to learn how to retaliate. So if you duck, sidestep, and kick, there's a good chance that you're going to fall and get hurt. And I didn't bring tissue, and yes, my nose is running. So if you sidestep and throw a knee, you've done that, but you're still going to need something else so that you can escape. So if you knee him and he goes over, you pull your leg back and kick him again. Because otherwise, all you did was slow him down. You need to stop him, or at least stop him enough so that you can escape. So if your escape's over here and you knee him, you want to maneuver yourself around him, maybe kick him in the rear so that he goes away from your door. Now, if your door is over there, I don't advise you using this knee. Unless that knee is the only knee available, you should probably use this knee because your door is over there and you want to go over there. So if you use this knee, if you can get from under him and reposition yourself, then kick him again, because you're probably going to have to if you don't knee him hard enough. Or if you use this knee, step back, and then kick with the other leg so he can go that way and you can go to your door. Same thing on the other side. If your door's over there, you don't want to use this leg because it's closest to your door. You want to use this leg, and if you put the torque in it, boom, he bends over. You reposition yourself, kick him again, or kick him again, and then you want to go in this direction. You are exceptionally limited with your hands tied behind your back. Remember that shit. Your hands are tied behind your back, so you're not going to do this. Please do not attempt this under no circumstances whatsoever. You are not going to do this. Okay? That could have went bad for me, so it's probably going to go bad for you, especially if you have no martial art training. That is a reverse tornado kick. You may get away with a sequence attack, so we're going to do that. All right? So sequence attack, are you ready? Here we go. So front kick, round kick. You may get away with that, but I don't expect you to do the round kick, because if he ducks that, you're in trouble. Now, if he ducks it because you did front kick, and then that kick, if he ducks it, he's going to hit you in your crotch. And you're going to be wishing that you were not a man. And then you're probably going to fall down, and you're probably going to get hurt, and he's probably going to stop a mud hole in your ass. So if you have to do front kicks, you don't ever want to turn your eyes off the enemy. So I advise you, if you're doing front kicks, boom, get back in position, boom, back into position, boom, here, stop, get back into position, boom. Keep it so that you can keep getting back into the same position that you can fire off a kick. If you start doing sequences that allow you to turn your back, you're probably going to get hurt. So you're not going to be doing this either. Boom, boom, boom. You're not going to do that. See, I went off frame. I have no balance. You want to keep your feet on the ground as much as possible. So you're going to do sequences that are simple. Boom, back into position. Boom, back into position. Boom, back into position. Boom, boom. You know, you'll figure out the combos that work for you. But understand, your balance is off. This is why I always tell you have to adapt in a fight, because you're going to have to adapt in a fight. Living. How the hell would I know? This is why I have no success in life, because my family, siblings, and everyone else continues to say, fuck you, we do what we want. Now, let's respect the fact that you just told me 10 minutes ago that you were living. Assholes. Now you know where to get it. Anyway, if you're going to do sequences also, and you want to keep it as close to safe as possible, you got to find combos that's going to be safe also. So if you do a front kick, boom, switch it to a side kick so you can get back into position, because you're always going to be moving, especially since you're somebody's target. I'm sorry, my nose is running. So you got to do kicks that have to keep you safe. So kick, kick, back into position, kick, back into position, kick. Those are going to keep you safe. As you notice, my feet rarely lift the ground in a fancy kick. So none of this shit. Because that's not going to help you if they duck. Now, you've seen what you can do while your hands are tired or tired. Your hands are bound. So you need to understand how this works. When your hands are tied behind you, all of your weight goes right in this area. So it throws off the equilibrium. You aren't really going to be doing too many blocks, because that's a block, that's a block, that's a block, that's a block. So if you can't squat down to where you can block it with your hand, you're probably going to take one for the team right in the face. And we don't want that. That's why I told you at the beginning of this, what you do is front kick, back in position. He's there, your door is there, so boom, you pushed it that way, and you're out. See, if you're not learning that, and if it's not on repeat, you're going to be taking a beating, and it's not going to be cool. Okay? So, let's go to hands being bound in the front. Now, your best option with your hands being bound in the front, your balance is back. But you're still not going to do this. Okay? I want you guys to watch both of those kicks when this is over. You're not going to do that. Because anytime your feet leave the ground outside of a base kick, you have put yourself in more danger. Now the good news is there's less don'ts for this when your hands in front. Because your hands are going to have to work together. Block, 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 block. You understand the concept. Now you can block. Block, pull, strike, strike. Block, pull, strike. You understand? Now what you just saw was karate and kung fu. Which one was first? Kung fu was first. For those who can reply. This was kung fu. I'm going to make it simple for you. I blocked, I pulled, I struck with the knee, I struck with the elbow that's on the same side as the knee that I used. So I'm using precision versus power. Right? Now, for karate, I blocked, I pulled, and I punched with the opposite side, because this gives me the power. Karate is more about power, kung fu is more about preciseness. And if you're in a Kempo, Kempo teaches you it's not how hard you hit, it's where you hit. But Kung Fu also teaches you it's not how hard you hit, it's where you hit. For those who are sleeping on us Wing Chun and Kung Fu people, if I hit you right, I don't have to hit you hard. I just gotta hit you right. Understand that shit. I don't have to hit you hard, I just have to hit you right. Now, since your hands are here, you have more blocking options. Boom, boom. This is a weapon. It is no longer a hindrance. So block, strike. Block, strike. Because you're hitting them in the throat with this ball. This thing right here, you're hitting them in the throat. Why are you hitting them in the throat? Because it doesn't matter how big a person is. If a person can't breathe, they cannot fight. That's one of my mottos, which is also why I'm not scared of people bigger than me. The bigger you are, the harder I get to hit you. It just means I don't have to play nice now. It just means I get to hit you as hard as I want. And since you tied my hands up, I can do whatever I want because clearly I'm the victim. Make sure we stay tied up when the cops get there. That way they won't, try to say what happened. Or at least leave one of your bindings on. And if you happen to be blessed enough to be able to get out while your hands are like this, you still have a weapon. Forehead strike, smack it like it's a real live belt to the face. People's pain tolerance aren't always as tough as they look on the outside. A lot of people look like they can't take a punch. They're the ones that's going to surprise you. Those guys, they look like they're tougher than nails and you hit them and they fold over like paper. Those are things that happen in fights. I forgot, so let me say it now. As I say this in almost every video that I make, 1,000 things can go wrong in a fight before one thing goes right. Remember that. You live in reality, you don't live in the Matrix, you're not a superhero. And if you're not a martial artist, this goes triple for you. Not double, triple. Because I don't want you getting out here and then doing this, or doing this, or doing even more wushu, which I can no longer do, and find out the hard way that that shit might not work. So again, 1,000 things can go wrong in a fight before one thing goes right. You need to know that going in. Because once you've started the physical altercation, it's too late to back off. Most of the time you're fighting somebody who's angry, they don't give a damn if you are done. It's not wrestling where you can tap out. It's not UFC where they knock you out and they stop, because there's a referee like Big John McCarty who will stop them from ending your shit. In real life, none of that shit's gonna happen. What's gonna happen is two forces are gonna collide. One force is gonna win and the other one is not. And if you're blessed enough, the one that doesn't win is just gonna get through with some serious injuries, but they will survive. And they will have learned they probably shouldn't have messed with that other person that whooped their ass. And then I'm gonna be a little overconfident when I say this. Be a little overconfident, but I'm gonna be honest. If you are well trained, you can still, got a front wedgie. If you are well trained, you can still get your ass kicked by somebody who's not well trained. The Murphy's Law, the any given Sunday rule, that shit is real. And you can get knocked out by somebody who's never want to fight a day in their life. And you need to be aware of that shit. They may just have that one powerful hit, like One Punch Man, and knock you on your shit, and it's done. And a lot of that comes out of adrenaline and unequated rage. All right? Now, the reason why you have a better chance this way is because you have more mobility. See, when you do Wing Chun and they train you about your chain punches, this helps your chain punches. Capoeira, slaves trained with their hands chained. You don't see that in Capoeira today. In Capoeira today, you do see this, but the thing is, in the original Capoeira, and anybody who does Capoeira, if you don't believe it, you can kiss my ass. And the original Capoeira, they had chains on their hands and their feet. So remember, chains, they had chains on their hands and feet. So if anybody tells you that a martial art does not have bound training, Capoeira is one of the originals that have bound training. Alright? So just in case you don't know, the slave masters didn't let them train unchained. Too much of a chance that they could escape. Since we're on Black History Month, let's just go with that. And remember that chains and slaves and Capoeira all went the same. You know? So yeah, I know enough to survive. But you know, you have to understand, if you don't know Capoeira and you've never been trained to fight with your hands bound, it's going to be a problem. So you want to eliminate most of the problems. So you want to stick with basics. Guys running at you, boom, front kick. Your target is his front central lifeline. Get him in the sternum, get him in the belly, get him up here, kick him in the throat if you can. You want to stop the fight before it begins? You probably shouldn't have any verbal altercations. But in the event that you stumble into one, it's better to know this shit than to not know this shit. It's also better to know that because you see me do it, I'm not special. I just got different training from other people. And you can have the training. You just got to find someone. God, they're probably in their 60s by now. But you have to find someone old enough to know how to train you properly with this. You're not going to do butterfly kicks with this. Well, you might if you find an old capoeira master that actually remembers how it was done in chains. You might. But other than that, you might not. But, you know, a lot of people kind of tend to leave a lot of stuff off in martial arts. And I know that capoeira, for one, they did chain in trains. You know, they didn't have the freedom that we think they have for slavery. And you guys can go research slavery in Brazil and the origins of capoeira. And if I had a choice between learning Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or capoeira all the way through, I'll take capoeira. I tried to learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the Army and I sucked at it. So, understand, a lot of fights that work on the ground only work on the ground. And you have to be able to get your opponent on the ground. That's the hard part. In any fight, I got to get through your defenses. Whether my hands are tied or not, I have to get through your skill level to get you down. To beat your ass, I got to get past your defenses. And if your block game is all that, I got to work hard on mine. Not my block game, but my strike game. And it's better to be well-rounded in both your block game and your strike game. But for instance, like for punching with your hands tied, both of your hands are going to extend. So you need to make sure that you got the arm that's closest to be the one, the striking hand. Boom! You know, but this hand is there. So let's say you want to fake them. Boom! You know, so you block and they throw. So if they're throwing a punch and you're throwing a punch, but your hands is tied, you block theirs and still strike in. Don't forget they have another hand. This is another reason why I prefer to teach Kung Fu versus karate, because Kung Fu, as great as it is for me, it's easy for me to teach you the concept versus trying to break it down for you. I like to teach people to get to the outside of the body. A lot of people who do karate tell you to go to the inside, which is a big fuck up because you have an opponent with two hands. Most people take karate, they take this stance. Most people take Wing Chun, they take a southpaw stance. But the reason for that is because this is going to protect anything you throw at me, whether it's your right or your left. All right? And if I can get to the outside of you, it's going to work a lot better for me because I can block and pull, strike at the elbow versus block and strike and worry about your other hand. All right? Plus my hands are tied, so that's going to be a bit of a problem. So you have to understand how these things work. If you're throwing a left jab at my front and I can move to the right, I just broke your elbow. I just struck you in the rib. I just struck you in the chin. I just did some shit to you. It's going to take me a little bit less time than it would if I tried to outfight you with muscle. All right? Now, the other thing is, my hands are tied. That's hurting me more than it's hurting you. So I need to end this fight quickly. So when I break your elbow, I strike a rib or the kidney. If I'm on the right side, I'll strike the rib, the kidney, or the liver. I'm going to strike you somewhere where I can bring this fight to an end. So if I break your arm and I pull you and I strike and it's on your left, you'll get broken arm, hit, and then hit again. And if I'm lucky and if I'm strong enough, or if I'm lucky and I hit you right, you go on sleep. If I hit you right but too strong, I might wind up sending you to the great beyond, which is what I'm not trying to do. What I'm trying to do is survive. And if my hands are tied, the only difficult thing is I got to make sure that all of this works together and that these compensate. So if I block and I strike and I'm still holding your hand and I'm pushing you this way and pushing you and pulling you at the same time, my foot's going to be here. So I got your arm and I got you stuck. So this way I got some time to think. But I got to remember you got another hand. That's why I need to be on the outside of you. If I'm on the outside of you, I got a better chance of breaking your arm versus trying to break your arm on the inside. I'm sorry I can't reply right now, but I will. I'm about to end this anyway. The thing you need to understand is that fighting is not a game. You can and you will be hurt if you do not know what the hell you're doing. And on the flip side of that coin, you can and you will be hurt even if you know what you're doing. Why did I say that? Because people tend to leave that shit off when they teach martial arts. I don't give a hell who you are, how big you are, and what you know. Getting hit sucks. Straight up and down. Getting hit, it doesn't matter what part of your body gets hit, it sucks. And everybody who follow martial artists, the martial artists that don't tell y'all this shit, because they don't care. I care. So, understand, you got to know what works. So we're going to do a couple of more things just to make sure that you're understanding. Now that I have my hands in front, I can use any crescent kick I want. If my door's over there and I choose to engage this guy because I'm that good, I will use the kick that I told you not to do. He's coming, my door's there, I'm a dick, so I'm going to kick him with the kick I told you not to do so that I can engage this guy just because I might like fighting. Also, probably, if I'm better than him at fighting, I might want to teach him a lesson. In other words, I'm being a dick. So, he's coming at me, I'm standing, I want to do an inside to outside crescent kick, putting him in my way because I want to engage. So, I don't recommend that you engage, but here we go. He's coming at me, boom! I set him right here, boom! He's right here now, so I can flying knee him, I can kick him, I can punch him, I can do whatever I want because he's not going to know that I can fight with my hands tied in front of me as well as behind me. But in front of me, I have a better chance of surviving the fight versus behind me, where if I did that shit, I'm about to be one with Jesus. Especially if I can't fight with shit. Well, that's a lot of birds. Please don't drop shit, please don't drop shit, please don't drop shit. Sorry, whenever there's birds, I'm always worried about them dropping shit. I had a bird shit in my hair once. Wasn't cool. My hair wasn't as long as this, but it wasn't cool. Now, if my door's that way and I want to be a dick and I still want to engage this dude and I use the crescent kick that I told you to use, but only in the opposite direction, I'm going to do that. So, the door's there, and remember I tell you not to use that kick, but I'm going to use it anyway because I want to engage. I want to show this bastard he picked the wrong guy. So he's running at me, boom. Now I'm in a position that if I popped my hips and ran, that would have been great if the door was over there. But the door is where I kicked him. So I need to make sure that now that I've landed in this position, that I can still engage. I still have my hands, so I can tag him. I still have this leg, which is closest to him. Boom. I can front kick him. I can do whatever I want to him. It's a stupid decision, but I can do whatever I want. And because I made that stupid decision, I thought I just saw a pile of dog crap. I don't want to land in it. Okay, maybe it's a leaf. I don't want to make stupid decisions, but because I was being a dick and I made a stupid decision, now I have to live with it, and I have to take this guy out to get out that door. Now, if you're not a good fighter, you can't afford to make those kind of decisions, which is why even with your hands bound in front, you need to know where your escape plan is, and you need to keep your enemy as far away from that as possible. I hope that I taught you guys something. I hope that I made this up for the people on YouTube and Instagram that I promised I would make up for. We've been here for almost 30 minutes. So I'm going to end the live and I'm going to end the YouTube.